Alright guys, was really happy with that last window, that draw against Germany, that win over Paraguay, very well done. Stepping things up a bit here in terms of the world rankings, we've got Mexico up in 5th and America up in 9th. Now, I don't think America are that good. I think we can take them. Mexico might be a bit tougher, but these are 2 home games. If we can just draw with Mexico, beat the USA, I'll be a very, very happy manager, okay?
Party in the streets and the city's on fire.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 158 of the New Zealand Builder Nation here on Shaun Does FM with both Kashmir Technicolor and the All Whites. I hope you're doing well, and come up today, it's an international window again in 2039, and this time we take on North American opposition in Mexico, who are 5th in the world, and America, who are 10th. So if you're looking forward to those 2 games coming up in today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yesterday played the OFC Champions League final for 2039, which was against Havelock North. So if you missed the episode, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Since then, been able to make our way through a decent chunk of the Southern League season, pretty comfortably off the back of that 2-0 win, as well as the first round of the Chatham Cup. As you can see, very comfy wins for us in these last 6 games that we have played in the Southern League over Nelson Suburbs, Otago Uni, Nomads, Mosgilby, Fresh Jet, again just like leading in to yesterday's episode, and also Coastal Spirit, while we dealt to Waimakariri United in the first round of the Chatham Cup, which is going to set up a second round clash against the 3rd team of the Wellington Phoenix off the back of this international break. So things going very well for us there at Kashmir Technical. A quick look at what the National League does look like there. You can see the Northern League, Mangere are on top now of that, just above Eastern Suburbs, a fair few points back to Manukau and Hamilton. Auckland City, though, are starting to find some form. Not too much yet, but certainly not looking like the relegation fodder that they were earlier this season. Going down to the Central League, that's about as you'd expect, albeit Havelock North currently not inside of that top 3, but they do have a game in hand on Wellington Olympic. And down to the Southern League, where as good as Frew and Christchurch United have grabbed a decent gap there on Nelson Suburbs for that second qualifying spot. So that's what's been happening on the field at Kashmir Tech. Worth noting, we might be missing some key players off the back of this upcoming window that we are about to play with the All Whites, and that's because a couple of players are away at the Euro Under-21s, and David Cifuentes, and probably more importantly, considering he's one of our big Under-20 players at Kashmir Tech this season, Jerome Ndambusi, of course on loan from Barcelona, they won't be back potentially until the 27th of June. So thankfully, currently, I think that just means they're missing 1 game in the Chatham Cup and 1 in the Southern League. Hopefully, that's all they miss. Otherwise, that could test the quality of our other under-20 players we do have there at Kashmir Tech, and also a few are going to be missing as well around a similar time on under-23 duty, with New Zealand trying to qualify for the next Olympics, in the likes of Harrison Debon. I think he's the only one there in the first team, but definitely a couple of players will be missing for those next couple of games, but hopefully won't hurt us too much. That Chatham Cup really the big focus, because the Southern League should already be pretty close to being wrapped up, with us yet again being the champions. Now we can switch over into All Whites mode. 2 big games coming up in today's episode. First up, we take on Mexico, 5th best team in the world. Let's see if that holds up. Their captain, Antonio Garcia, a centre-back come right back from Bayern Munich. Technically not too great, but then you look at the mentals and physicals, they're a lot better. Also, Jose Fuentes, their vice-captain from Hull City. It's an interesting club for him to be at, but does look like a decent central midfielder. And their key player, Raul Cervantes from Manchester United. That's a bit better from their key player there in the Mexican team, who can play all across that front line and behind the striker. So he's definitely the player we need to watch in that first game. And off the back of that, we'll take on an American team who I'm not too sure about. Recently, they've lost to the likes of Panama and Costa Rica. They're 9th in the world, but they have been dipping between 9th and 10th, sort of switching places with Germany. So I'm hopeful we can beat these guys with this game being in New Zealand. Their captain is Kramashi. I think in real life, he's at Inter Miami. Indeed, he is playing alongside Messi since then, been at Porto and now at Liverpool. He's a decent player, but I think not that much better than some players that we have in our all-white squad. Going down further, Joel Meyer, the key player as well, is the vice-captain. He's at Arsenal, and apart from that, dribbling does look very, very good for a centre-back. So maybe underestimating the Yanks there just a little bit, but the form of late has been a bit patchy. Hopefully we can make the most of that. I'd like to beat those guys and hopefully find a way to maybe grab a draw off of Mexico. I think that would be a pretty good window. In terms of our squad, Alex Paulson has now retired, so that is a big change going into today's episode, albeit he was only recommended for 45 minutes during that last window. So Debenham keeps his spot in goal. Henry Gray back in the squad, coming in for the retired Alex Paulson. Apart from that, though, we are at full strength, but you'll notice a recall for Cody Phoenix, and that is because, unfortunately, we've found another snake here in this save because Asana Diop off the back of, I think, 2 appearances before he was injured for that last window with the All Whites, has switched his allegiance back to Senegal. So that was a big waste of time all those years that he's been at Kashmir Tech. He's done a Max Caputo, and he's not even partially Australian. He hasn't even been at the Newcastle Jets long enough for that to be the case that he is the Senegalese snake. He can have a nice party there with Max Caputo. The Australian snakes not too happy with Asana Diop, but thankfully with a decent backup in Cody Phoenix, who does of course have experience from that previous World Cup, and he will start this one as well as Adam White. He is only recommended for 45 minutes. Only one other player with that situation going into this window, and that is Shaun Pearce. So it does mean pretty close to being able to put out a full strength 11 for this first game. A couple of players there not quite on full green hearts, and Justin Keat, who just recently has recovered from a virus, and Michael Cornelius Beale on a heavy workload. Hopefully be okay for that American game, but the rest of our players are fit and available, and hopefully we can start off this window by picking up a decent result against the 5th ranked Mexicans. And here are the team sheets for this first friendly, where we do take on Mexico. In terms of our lineup, as we ran through before, a couple of changes with some players on minute restrictions and a bit tired. So Phoenix at left back, we've got Clark in the deep line playmaker, and it is Chris Jones at right wing there on Mexico. They are going with a good old English 4-4-2, but let's see what the 5th best team in the world's all about, if we can take a result off them at home. And just show the 10-minute mark, first highlight of this game, a free kick here, and Josh Pickering takes it, puts it in the top right corner. We don't score many goals from free kicks here with this All Whites team, especially directly. That's a wonderful hit that from the Porto man in Josh Pickering. No stopping that one from Hernandez in goal, and we take a very early 1-0 lead. And we have to wait until just past the half-hour mark for the next highlight of this game. Mexico definitely coming back at us in terms of stats off back of that goal, which we did score, but so far no highlights, or better I say that. Ball played ball there for Chris Jones, can't quite control, and Cervantes plays that one deep. Curtis heads it away, but too deep that for Phoenix, so Ariza can get on the ball, plays it in there for Hernandez. They try and play that out of the box for some reason. We somewhat clear it, but Pickering can't quite clear it deep enough, so Mexico here are still on the attack, so it's a long highlight. Hopefully that won't mean something bad like it usually does. And FM Gonzalez there, Nicky Kuru does get called out. They play that one in there for Benitez, but Simon Curtis comes up with a big block. Let's see what happens from the subsequent corner. Can Mexico grab an equaliser just after the half-hour mark? They try and put this one near post. Binden will head it away. Gonzalez back in the mix of Phoenix. Can head that one clear. Then a block there from Curtis just outside the box. He certainly is doing a good job. Pimentel for Gonzalez. Binden has to clear that one away there before a Mexican can get his heel on the end of that one, as Debenham did not claim that, but thankfully got a bit hairy there inside the box. We deal with the danger, and with 5 minutes left in this first half. Still 1-0 up. You can see the stats there. Really, our only attacking chance has been that free kick. So currently, kind of FM in Mexico here to beefy. We did that, I think, to Germany in yesterday's episode when picking up a draw. A good chance for them there, but Debenham comes up with a good save off the back of that. Might just try and go positive to stop this highlight. Hasn't worked, so let's go back to attacking. Ariza will take this one going near post, but thankfully McDonald can head that one away. Will that be this highlight? Hopefully the last one before halftime. Fuentes to Pimentel. Pena plays that one back to the centre back in Cervantes. Surely this highlight will come to an end shortly, but it doesn't. So hopefully this won't result here in a Mexican goal right before the stroke of halftime. Hernandez plays that back to Pimentel as this highlight does continue. Squeeze it for Fuentes. Ball over there from Gonzalez, but Niankuru can head that one away, and we wrap up 2 minutes of added time. That a pretty average first half, truth be told, but the free kick from Pickering, absolute stunner. Mexico all over us off the back of that. But BV position-wise, we're actually holding more of the ball, so they're getting shots off, but we've been in control of possessions with an interesting dynamic in the first half of that game. We're going to take off Evans with a yellow card that he picked up very early on for Marcus Vinicius, but pretty happy with the scoreline. Hopefully can get a few more shots off in the second half and hopefully put these guys away, or it would be a very big win. Currently 1-0 in front of the 5th best team in the world. And in fact, we get a highlight from the restart here to get things underway in the second half. There are the changes that Mexico have made. They've made 2, and there's our one Vinicius coming on for the yellow carded Louis Evans. Some Kashmir Tech combos out there now, especially in defensive midfield. Young gets that ball, goes out right, of course, our former, and actually quite fortunately to keep that ball as Santa Cruz can't quite keep it. And Vinicius will find Chris Jones, and he'll grab a goal very early here in the second half. Chris Jones might need a song off the back of that. Not too sure if he's actually got one so far. That might be his first goal in front of home fans on camera, but that's really fortunate how that ball did stay with Young there. Down our right hand side, finds his former teammate Vinicius, and Jones, lovely turn there to his left and puts it in that bottom left corner. We've got a cushion goal nice and early in the second half to make it 2-0. And only a few minutes off the back of that goal to try and grab a bit of a break here on Mexico. There is a highlight there. We're on the attack, but thankfully we tidy things up there down our right-hand side. We might actually get a chance here on the counter-attack. McDonald does get in behind. Big chance. Hernandez might have got a touch on that one. Comes off the crossbar, and Mexico can clear their lines. That probably would have put this game to bed, albeit stats-wise, not too sure if we deserve a lead that big. We definitely don't. But so far, we've been quite clinical with our chances. Mexico, theirs, not as good as ours, but they are on the attack now. Still got time to make their way back into this game. Ariza puts that one far post. Now, unfortunately, Niankuru gets out-jumped there by Jose Fuentes, and they are right back in this one now. We didn't have that cushion for too long. They make it 2-1, and as I said, with a fair bit of time to work with here for our opposition, the 5th best team in the world, but Niankuru, bit of a midget, no chance of out-jumping Fuentes, even if he tried there. Unfortunately, Debenham isn't Superman, can't quite save that one. That makes it 2-1. Both our wingbacks actually not on good ratings, but just as I'm thinking about that, a highlight here, which might be in our favour, of throwing in their half, but unfortunately, we have a loose pass there, and Mexico can do something on the counter-attack. Benitez plays it back to Fuentes. Now Sutherland will square that one for Benitez. Quick fire double. We might be in trouble. That makes it 2-2, and all of a sudden, that good work that we did kind of in the first half and early stages of the second, to be fair, we were FMing Mexico, so not too sure if we can complain about the scoreline, but a quick fire double, always frustrating. Mexico finally getting some good chances away. Fuentes, backed up by Benitez, helps them grab a quick fire double. Off the back of that, we will change both our wing backs who were on poor ratings, so Darman at right back and White at left back. Hopefully, might just help us get back in front 2-2 with a half hour left. And only 5 or so minutes on from that goal, which Mexico did score to get this back 2-2 square. We've got a goal kick here trying to make our way out from the back, and we do so down our right-hand side. Darman, that ball rather fortunately does stick on the end of Jones's foot. Now Young up to McDonald, lovely pass forward there for Sam Clark. He kind of chips that one over the goalkeeper, and thankfully back in front. That one not level for long. Lots of goals happening here in the second half of this game, but this ball from McDonald really good here. Takes a touch and weaves that one through the passage, which Sam Clark is running through. He'll grab a goal, which is a bit unusual for him. That one a bit of a simpler finish compared to what he usually pulls out for us with both the All Whites and Kashmir Tech. But now 3 players down to Red Hearts. We've got 3 subs left, so we'll take off both our centre backs, Kelly Heald and Ryan Billingsley. They can come on. I do think Kelly Heald might be a bit better at passing. Indeed he is, so we'll put him as the ball playing defender, and also Josh Pickering, that wonderful free kick, but is down to a red heart. Chris Greenidge can come on for him after getting our lead back at the 69-minute mark. And only a few minutes off the back of those last couple of subs that we did have available to make. Now is a free kick to Mexico. Pimentel gets on the end of that one, but thankfully Debenham not tested too much there. Pretty much straight at him, just to jump up a foot or so, and he rolls that one out there to Bambi on ice. Lucas Kelly Heald. He'll find Darman. Can we do something here down our right-hand side and try and again establish a cushion goal lead, but that ball not too good. Now hopefully Darman actually gets back to his spot there at right back before Mexico can launch an attack. And he should now, because they're taking some time here, making their way out from the back and forward, but that's not a good pass. Billingsley can tidy things up and again get the ball out there to Darman. This time that pass a bit better, finds Chris Jones, gets it back with a 1-2 between those guys. Young plays through McDonald. Can he put this one away? It's a chipped effort again and just sneaks its way inside that top left corner. We've got a cushion goal again here against Mexico, and hopefully now with only 15 or so minutes left, it might be 20 once you add on extra time, but that should be the goal, which wraps up a big result for us here against the 5th best team in the world according to the rankings. But that's a really good finish there from McDonald. Young, a couple of really good passes to help set up goals here in the second half, and we're now 4-2 in front. And just make way into the last 10 minutes of this game with this 4-2 lead, but there's a throw in here for Mexico. Hopefully they don't grab another quick fire double and find a way to pinch a draw off us here, because this would be a really good result to start this window, give some good confidence going into that USA game where hopefully a couple more usual first teamers might be available. They try and play a ball into the mix of the air from a tight angle, but thankfully that one is very easy to claim for Billy Debenham, who, to be fair, having a good game on a 7.1, so maybe didn't need to fear departure of Alex Paulson quite so much. But next year, David Cifuentes should be available for the All Whites if he wants to be. Cervantes now does get on the attack, but thankfully that shot goes into the side netting. A couple of chances there for Mexico. Try and pull a goal back. They probably needed to, because now they will start to run out of time and make our way the last 5 minutes of this game. Already gone positive, but let's just start to be a bit more disciplined and do some time wasting things. Slow the pace down through our goalkeeper distribution, and also we might just chuck Darman on to support it right back. Let's just tone things down, make sure we're not bombing forward as much as we sometimes can. A free kick off the back of that, which they put away through Santa Cruz, but the flag is up there on the far side, clearly offside, so thankfully that one won't count. We are still 4-2 in front. They've definitely got a lot more shots off than us in this game. The XG is quite high, but somehow we've found a way to make our shots on target the exact same amount, a lot more efficient, and pick up a 4-2 win. Obviously, that early free kick really did settle things down. That does actually look like a bit of a game or two halves there from that match momentum at the bottom of the screen. Mexico, all the action in their favour off the back of that opening goal, which we did score. Second half, though, we were on the front foot, but somehow Mexico did grab a couple of goals back, but thankfully not for too long. We grabbed a quick double off the back of their one, and we pick up a 4-2 win. Hopefully can back it up with a win over America. And here are the team sheets for the second friendly, where we do take on America, a bit lower ranked, but hopefully can pick up a result even with 4 changes. Callaghan comes in for Curtis, a little bit tired. Same case there with Field coming in for Clark, albeit he is usually first choices. America are going with a 4-3-3. Also, Justin Keat back in at right wing, so a couple of usual first teamers come back in, but Chris Greenidge in central taking the field. That's because Pierce still only recommended for 45 minutes, and also it is Jamie Young, who was really good in that Mexican game. Unfortunately, not quite on a full green heart. Green just quite good in that role, it looks like. So hopefully he'll do a job for us here against the Americans. But early stages, nothing happening, still scoreless. Albeit only a few minutes off back of me saying that, now we get the first highlight of this game. A corner here in our favour. Callaghan gets up to it really nicely. But big save there from Brady in goal for America. You would have noticed maybe our former goalkeeper at Kashmir Tech these days at the Phoenix, Alexander Logan, is on the bench. This time he comes out for it, doesn't get there, and Lucas Callaghan will put that one away, looking really dangerous early stages here from corners, and we take a 1-0 lead. We were very close before, forced a good save out of their goalkeeper, but that time he is a bit of a shocker and puts that one into pretty much an open net. A good start for us here, albeit coming up now the halfway point of the first half at 1-0 in front. So hopefully we can pick up here 2 wins in this window, which you'd think would get us up the rankings just a little bit more, maybe can sneak our way above those pesky Aussies. America here with a chance. That one clears off the woodwork, so America there nearly equalise quite quickly, but thankfully the woodwork does come to our rescue. Still 1-0 the All Whites, albeit not so quick. There is another corner here in our favour. Can we do something dangerous yet again? Looking for Callaghan. That time can't quite hit the target. Half hour in and 1-0 in front. And we just made way into the last 5 minutes of this first half. All that action happening there around the 20 to 30 minute mark, and it is half time, 1-0 in front. And as you can tell by the stats, we've really dominated that first half as well. A little bit frustrating that we maybe haven't made it 2-0, because we definitely had the run of play in that first half. But thankfully Lucas Callaghan did put away one of those chances from set piece. Now we're going to take off here Josh Pickering on a 6.3. Greenwich can go back out to left wing, playing quite well, and Shaun Pearce is available for 45 minutes. Let's bring him on in central attacking midfield for the second half. Pretty happy with how this one's going. Hopefully can grab a cushion goal yet again in the second half and make it 2 wins from 2 in this window with a 1-0 lead over the Americans. And just under 10 minutes into the second half, there's an early free kick here in our favour, and Greenwich will head that one down to Cully Hield. Goes back out there to Justin Keat. It goes back there to Evans. Hopefully this might end up being something in our favour a bit. As I say that, poor pass there from our goal scorer in Cully Hield, and Moisev can make his way down the right hand side. So good counter-attacking chance here for the Americans. We're tightly marking him. That ball far too deep there, far post, but Detmer, he will cut inside in front. Detmer bangs that one into the top right corner. It's a poor start here in the second half. It should have been a good situation for us too. A free kick in a good spot, and with Lucas Cully Hield looking quite good in the air so far today. Bit surprising, he was back a little bit of poor pass, gave the ball away, and America, they hit us on the counter attack. I thought that ball there was too deep, but they knew what they were doing. Detmer puts that one away to the top right corner, and they level it at 1-1. Albeit only a few minutes off the that maybe a chance for us here to get back in front of Frown inside of their half. When we play that one there to Beale, cuts inside that pass, nearly finds Evans, but a foot in there does mean America can try and get on the counter attack, but thankfully Beale wins that one back for us. Now Yang Kuru, that ball a bit too deep there for Maya. Greenwich can square this one nicely for Shaun Pearce. He's just got on the field at halftime, and Chris Greenwich is looking pretty good today at setting up goals. Of course, that first one was from a set piece, but that ball from there in Kuru is a really good one. Maya probably could have judged it better, but then Greenwich plays it in nicely for Shaun Pearce. A lovely finish with his left foot just inside of that right hand post, and thankfully not levelled for too long here in this one. And we praise at the right time there too to cut out that highlight. Still 2-1 in front, and now we've just gone past the hour mark. Quite a few players out there are on red hearts. The Nkuru, good pass there before, can come off for Dum, and Beale can come off for Clark, and Keat will take him off for Chris Jones. So a couple of subs there off the back of taking a 2-1 lead. And only a few minutes left of those previous subs. Now it's time for our last couple. In fact, because two defenders have gone down to red hearts. Adam White can come on for Cody Phoenix, and also Tyler Binden will take him off. Let's give some game time to Simon Curtis off the bench. Kelly Hield can go back to that ball-playing defender role that he played off the bench in that Mexico game. It'll be all our subs used. Still 2-1 in front. And we've just made our way into the last 20 minutes of this game, and America are still well and truly in this one, and they are looking for an equaliser. Hopefully we find a way to hold on. Darman nearly got a foot in, but Detmer will keep that ball tight angle, puts that one far poster, and thankfully Debenham comes up with a really big save before we clear that one off the line. So America there, good chance to try and do what we did in that first half through Lucas Cully Hield, but thankfully Debenham there with a really good save. About to make our way now the last 5 minutes of this game. So just like the previous one, time for us here to time waste and be more disciplined. Let's pull Darman back, yet again it right back as well. But obviously we're going to do that this time with less of a lead than we had in the late stages of that Mexican game. Also, let's drop back to a positive mentality, and hopefully that might mean no more highlights in this game, as apparently Brady does pull off a save this time. Does actually feel like we deserve this win. We've been on top, albeit ever so slightly compared to that previous game, which is a bit more even in terms of the shots. Mexico did a much higher XG, but this time I think it's a pretty well-earned win. They came back to the Americans in the second half through Detmer off the back of Cully Hield's goal in the first half. Of course, he was actually the reason they probably got that one back, but thankfully off the back of that, Nyankuru, nice ball over the top to Chris Greenwich, who set up Shaun Pearce. Really good bench impact there from us in that game. If only the All Blacks could do that in real life, currently not doing too well in the late stages of their games, but that is a very good window for us there with the All Whites 2 wins from 2 off the back of that 2-1 victory over America. So 2 really good results for us there in that window here in June of 2039. There you can see the duty ends, the players are leaving the camp in a buoyant mood. We've got a couple of more friendlies set up for the next window. That's in September, albeit some teams that we've taken on relatively recently, even though I think that was last year off the back of the World Cup. Argentina and Australia, the only 2 teams that wanted to play us inside of the top 20. So not too sure if we'll come back for those games. Things we've taken both those teams on quite recently. In the same, but most important news is we've gone up the rankings just a little bit these days. 15th in the world, and a quick look at the world rankings for some reason. Can't click on them from that news article, like we should be able to, going back over to the nation and to the rank. And you can see we've snuck above Australia, 3 points ahead of them, in 15th of the world. So Australia will want that spot back when we play them in September, and of course that will be for the Soccer Ashes, but hopefully we can beat them, and we'll see what we can do against an Argentina team who have also gone up the rankings because Mexico have slid as well as the USA off the back of those wins that we did just pick up against those two teams. But that will do it for today's episode. As I said, good results there with wins over Mexico and the USA. If you enjoyed that one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. We'll come back tomorrow. It'll probably be something to do with Kashmir Tech. I'm just not too sure what yet. It might be a game in the Chatham Cup if something interesting does pop up. Otherwise, might be early stages of the National League Championship season. Not too sure really what we're going to be coming back for in tomorrow's episode, because honestly, not too much interesting coming up at the moment on the schedule in this save, but I'm sure to find something. So until tomorrow, we'll switch back into Kashmir Technical mode. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.